This video describes a complex task. And the problem with a complex task is I can't make it simple. I wish I could, but then I've also learned in teaching that if I try to make a complex task simple, then I'm going to lead you to making a mistake. It's a complex task, so be aware of that as you listen through and be prepared to ask any questions you need to. There'll probably be lots of questions that you'll need to ask about this task to get it clear in your head what you need to do. What you will do as a result of this work is to have a scoring rubric prepared for the work you're doing in your Learning Environments project. So there's the bottom line. You are writing a scoring rubric by which I will grade your final project. Two things have to be involved in the scoring rubric. First, it has to have excerpts from the proper National Board rubric that would go along with your project. That will probably be the whole group or the small group rubric from the National Board portfolio in your area. I say probably because the key thing to keep in mind is this course focuses on learning environments. So, let me know if you see in your National Board portfolio an entry that's not whole group or small group or something close, but that is related to learning environments. I said excerpts, so you will take the scoring rubric from the national boards. Unless you are applying for national boards this year, which I don't think many of you are, then you don't have to hit everything on one level of a rubric. That just doesn't seem appropriate. In this course, you are showing how you are beginning to make a trajectory toward the national boards. So that's why excerpts from the rubric would make sense. You could probably the easiest way to do that is to take the PDF version of the rubric and to just highlight certain parts of the rubric that you're going to hit in the course. It's easy for me because then I can see the rubric, the whole rubric, and if you highlight, then I can see which portions of the rubric you're trying to hit. Now, which level of the rubric? Well, you know in the national boards by now that there's level 1, 2, 3, and 4. Choose the level that is the most appropriate for growth for you. I would assume that that's probably going to be about level 3 for most of you. If it's lower than level 3, then let me know. But if you are starting at level 1 as you look at the rubric, if you really realize your teaching in the past has been at level 1, then it may be appropriate for you to be growing toward level 2. And of course, if level 4 is your target, then just let me know that too. I just don't want you to feel pushed to reach level 4 unless you feel like, yeah, I can hit that, and I really am closing in on being ready to apply to national boards. You'll also see linked with this post a statement of the local outcomes, the School of Education outcome that you must show, you must tie this project to. So there are two sets of standards that you have to develop your rubric around: the national board standards, the national standards, and the local standards of the School of Education project. The only other thing that your rubric has to address is it also needs to give me a sense of the product, a good sense of the product you'll develop. You don't have to talk about process to me in this rubric. This project in the course doesn't have any requirement for you to do time documentation or any kind of proof of the work you've done. It is simply about you developing a high-quality product. And that's all you're going to be graded on, is the quality of the product itself. So make sure that when I read your rubric that I can see the product that you will use, that you'll produce, a description of that, then the quality of it, and then the quality of it with the national board's standards that you're meeting. Complex, right? And you're probably at the end of the video thinking, what does he want me to do? Well, post questions that you have, and I will be happy to answer them, but also keep in mind the heart of the assignment. The heart is you are thinking about this complex project that you're doing, and now you're going to describe for me the quality that I can expect you to produce in your final project, in what you submit to me. And describing quality is complex. So I won't say any more. Just remember, this is complex, and for many of you, this is probably going to be a hard task, and we may have to go back and forth on where you submit something, I give you feedback, and then you have to resubmit even 2 or 3 times before we get to a point where we agree, and I understand what you're doing, and you feel good about where you're going, and we see exactly what you're doing in the project. So I won't say any more. Let me know what questions you have.